beep, beep. Ladies and gentle beings, welcome to the Court of the Edijester. I hope you are well and enjoying your day. What have I got for you? Well, this is interesting. You'll remember that Manchester Pride were recently involved in putting on a vigil, which I think was a direct harm to children. And you know that I followed that up with an email to safeguarding and all sorts of people and heard nothing. What a surprise. So I'm going to have to look at that again. But we've got something here that I think you find of interest because it's another one of our Fruit Loop series. And here is our Fruit Loop, Dr. Christopher Owen. And he works as the Inclusivity Development Manager at Manchester Pride. You remember we had another loon, didn't we, from the BMA? Remember him? What was his name? Raphael, right? We had him, didn't he? Got upset about using his picture. Let's see if Owen gets upset about me using his. So this is Dr. Christopher Owen, registered Fruit Loop, and denizen of Manchester Pride. And he posted this. Now, before we go through it, come and be a warrior teacher, for God's sake. Come and join us. We're having a ball. We're having a ball. Come and join us. Or buy me a coffee, do something to help me. That'd be great. Other than that, begging over. Oh, subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Then you can hear my lunacy whenever you fancy. Right, okay, so here we go. He posted, today is International Pronouns Day. As if I give a toss. Does anybody give a toss? International Pronouns Day, right? What? Absolute moron. My pronouns are he, him, and also they, them. Are they? Are they? Are they, love? Hey, Chris, you all right, hon? And oh, wow, does this trip people up sometimes? So let me take a moment to explain. I'd rather you didn't. Really, I'd rather you didn't. Why have they employed this bloke? If you want to have a look at his other work, go and look at the Manchester Pride website. He's absolutely insane. That's how I see it. I mean, he might not be. I'm quite happy to be proved wrong. You know, he may not be insane. He may just be writing as an insane person. What's in your job description, Christopher? I have to write as a loon. Okay, great. How are you going to do that? I'll have a think. Fruit Loop, right? So my pronouns are he, him, and also they, them. As a gender fluid person, sometimes I'm a man and sometimes I'm agender, meaning I have no own gender. No, you're not. You're a deluded fool, is what you are. A deluded and absolutely insane narcissist. That's my assessment. But then what do I know? I'm not a psychologist, though I have the funny feeling you should see one, right? This is an exceptionally fluid and inconsistent experience, I bet. I bet it's a really funny place to be in your head, isn't it, Christopher? Stop smiling at your picture. Fruit Loop. Am I right? Is he a Fruit Loop, I ask you? This is the question on the table today at the Court of the Edijester. An inconsistent experience that I have no control over. No, you have all the control in the world over it. You have all the control in the world over it. You just choose not to because it's part of your queer breaking down barriers and perverting society stick, isn't it? Because you're from Canada, aren't you, Christopher? You're Canadian. Says it all. Canada. Sometimes it's less of a back and forth kind of experience and more of an overlapping simultaneous experience. I mean, when you are this insanely staring up your own little brown starfish, there's something wrong with you. Oh, sorry, Chris, but I think you're unwell, mate. Go get some help. They're coming to take me away. It's not back and forth. It's an overlapping simultaneous experience. I mean, this is what they're like, probably not on drugs. Can you imagine what they're like on drugs? Somebody should tie him down and give him LSD. See where he goes. Everything's moving. Everything's fluid. My God, the universe is collapsing. If you're confused, don't worry. I get why. I'm confused all the time. If you're confused all the time, then you have absolutely no right being an inclusivity development manager for a major charity like Manchester Pride. Or even an organisation like Manchester Pride. You are unfit for purpose, mate. Right? So let's go back down. For some gender fluid people, I would prefer it if you kept your gender fluid away from me. All right? It's not that you're unattractive. You look like quite a smiley chap, but I imagine you're like really neurotic and high maintenance. Don't you think, folks? I could be wrong. For some gender fluid people, they want a specific pronoun at a specific time. I wish off was a pronoun. Depending on their current gender. You are insane. For these people, it's important that you take their lead. No, it's not. I don't have to pander to your delusions for 1 second, and nor does anybody else. You're nuts. There you go. Everyone's a fruit and nut case. For those people, It is important that you take their lead. I'm not taking their lead. Just to let you know, Barry, what? I'm now the Doge of Venice. Okay, right, what do you want me to do? Well, genuflect, of course. Not a chance, Christopher, you narcissistic, self-important, bloated windbag. For these people, take their lead. No, pay attention to any external cues. What? You look like an idiot. You got purple hair and a nose ring. That could be an indicator. What else could be an indicator? A T-shirt with trans lives matter on it, or perhaps an intention to mutilate and harm children. That? What about that? What is that what you mean by a cue? Take any external cues. If it was me, I'd take a cue from a billiard table and chase you with it. And just try your best to be kind and respectful. Nope. I'm not going to be kind and respectful to the delusional. It's not my problem what your mental issues are. Keep them to yourselves. But because my gender fluidity is not so black and white, this approach is not my personal preference. So now I'm not like one of the other special people. I'm a special person. Absolutely deranged. For me, I am happy with I am happy with either he, him, or they, them pronouns in equal measure. I just want you to go away. I tend to feel that if someone exclusively uses he, him pronouns to refer to me, then they are ignoring and thus erasing my agender identity. You need to get in the bin. You're deranged. So I do like things to get mixed up from time to time, but I'm not fussy about how often, in what context. So in other words, you don't care about any of this really. So in which case, why are you telling us? You're telling us because you're a narcissistic, stupid young man who's in a position he has no right to be in. How about that? Right? People's relationships with their pronouns can differ considerably. If you're ever not sure how to be inclusive towards someone with multiple pronouns, it is not rude or offensive to ask them how you can best respect them. At the end of the day, just be kind. No, Christopher, no, that's what Scott is here, just be kind. And they've got at the bottom, pronouns, International Pronouns Day, LGBTQ, queer, EDI, DEI, inclusivity, gender fluid, agender, they, them, queerest regards. You really are a stupid man, do you know that? Because if you're gay, which I suspect that you are, and you're doing this, you are a rabid homophobe. This smacks of rabid homophobia. Sorry, that's just my opinion. You don't have to listen to me. I may not be right. I'm sure that people in the comments will tell us whether we're right. In fact, the people in the comments might like to tag Manchester Pride in on Twitter because they block me. And perhaps they can explain what they're doing with this absolute idiotic Canadian windbag rattling on about genders and nonsense, which is pure homophobia. There's no getting away from it. Pronouns are pure homophobia. And saying that queerest regards, what do you mean? What, queer theory? As in Judith Butler, as in breaking down the barriers between adults and child. I think Manchester Pride's got a lot of questions to answer. If you want them to answer them, perhaps you'd like to go on Twitter at Manchester Pride and ask them. All right? I'll see you later because this lunacy is driving me mad and I need to go and teach. Come be a warrior teacher. We're having a ball. Other than that, do go away. I'll see you later. Bye.